Welcome to Staying Alpha.
What's going on, everyone? On the live stream, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever in the world it is that you're at right now. What's going on to the channel, guys? So today I have a couple of guests on here. We have Steele, all right, which you guys already know, the man, the myth, the legend. You've probably seen them in Hollywood movies or in Pornhub, all right? So Steele is actually with us right now. He's been around from other channels. And then you have one of the OGs of YouTube. You actually have the DreadMan, guys. The DreadMan has some videos on YouTube that they have reached, I believe, over 100,000 views, right, Dread? I think I saw one of your videos. And, definitely one of the OGs from YouTube, guys. And then the man with no face wanted to remain anonymous. That is tlostintranslation. Always living life the good way. Doesn't take too much, doesn't bite too little. But guys, in today's channel, it is something different. I want you guys to stop looking at Dogecoin, all right, for a little bit. Dogecoin, yes, it is blowing up. We did see it go from 5 cents all the way to 47 cents, 45 cents, depends what chart you're looking at. But today, guys, I want to talk about building better men. All right, I know that sometimes we get the other genders on the channel watching, so I'm not expecting a big group since this is something different. But we're going to be talking about before the self-destruct, because a lot of men tend to fall out before women do, at least 7 years before. And there's many reasons to that. And as well, right, sometimes you just have to say fuck it and double down and chase your ambitions, chase your goals. All right, stop being such a conservative, say fuck it, double down and go for it. All right, go for your dreams. So I want to talk about investments to move further out in life, careers, side hustles, all right, to earn extra money, and as well relationships and cheating, because a lot of men have issues with this. So we're going to be talking about that. And last but not least, fitness to increase our lifespan. So everyone on the live stream, what's going on? Lord Dabba back in the building. How are you? Roman in the building. Sweffin, Poor Man Printing, Daniel. What's going on, everyone? Dream Chaser. How's everyone on the live stream doing? But yes, guys, before the self-destruct, right? Before the train wreck, the reason why I wanted to talk about that is because a lot of men do not chase their dreams, do not chase their ambitions, and basically they get stuck working this 9-to-5 job, get locked up in the system, end up getting married, end up having kids, and it's just too late for them to move on in life anymore. They're just stuck in the system. They just could no longer move on. And then we have, of course, other men, all right, since you guys already know that I work in the jailhouse, that I've seen that just plenty of men, just lost souls, that are just lost in life. Okay, they're not moving on, and women are outdoing men so much right now. So I definitely think that men need to wake up. And also, right, masculinity, people are asking for it to change. All right, women organizations, a lot of people on social media stream. But guys, there's nothing wrong with being an effing man. All right, at the end of the day, be a man, lead, have some balls, and just make some money moves, make bank, work out, live a healthy lifestyle, and try to add some years to your life. So the first subject that I want to talk about is investments. And Steele, you probably want to go ahead and take this.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, topic of investments. I think some general overall advice that I always find myself giving people that seems to not only resonate the most, but also seems the most practical and helpful right straight away. And that is just the concept of multi-stream incomes. And that's how I was able to open my own business and how I gained the capital to do that. I was able to gain the capital to play around in the stock market and in crypto, which I parlayed that into greater wealth building and etc. Now, it doesn't matter where you are right now in where you think you should be right now along in your career path. If you don't have enough capital to next level things, you need to do within the legal means. You need to do whatever you can to make that happen. And unless you're born into wealth, the most surefire way you can get to that next level is through multi-stream income. So you need to, it's good to swallow your pride and just roll up your sleeves, drive that Uber, do that side hustle, do those side hustles. You think you might even be beyond in life, but the fact is, unless your bank account and your capital's not sitting in a place that makes you feel really comfortable, you're not there. So you got to face that reality. And so you got to get those multi-stream incomes coming in. And the thing is, in the digital age right now, we've never been more empowered, and we've never had more options to make multi-stream incomes more accessible to more people. So you can just get really creative and innovative with it. And the people that get there and able to level up are the people that hold themselves accountable. And the main reason why most entrepreneurs fail, and the main reason why most entrepreneurs fail and most self-starters fail is because those business owners aren't holding themselves accountable. So some people, the majority of those people in this world, they need other people. They need bosses to tell them what to do to be productive. So you need to make sure you're turning yourself into a person that can hold yourself accountable without a boss to stay productive and to really crank things out and make things happen.
Now, Steele, we're going to be talking about some side hustles, right? And I know you did mention Uber. And let me tell you something. Uber, there's a lot of money to be made, and especially what state it is that you're at, the pay is very different. But right now, when I talk about investment, what are you investing on? All right, you can give me your top 2, top 3 crypto, but also anything else that you invest in, anything else that you do to flip your money.
Sure. Yeah. A couple different things. Well, for the crypto space, obviously the Doge. I preach the Doge night and day. I really do think that's one of the going to be one of the predominant digital currencies of the future on the planet. Secondly, okay, and we've talked a bit about this, and I don't want to get too crypto centric because Staying Alpha and I talk crypto all day and all night already. But I think right now, if you are having trouble building capital and you're just kind of getting by, or you're close to it and you've still got that stress on you, right, where you don't have that cushion, but you still want to dabble in crypto, I'd say I know human nature is to play it riskier, right? You want bigger gains, so you end up going to more high risk small coins, all the ones that say, oh, we're about to 100x. You're about to 100x your money if you invest in this now. You guys, don't do that. If you're already struggling, don't do that. I would take, as far as the crypto set, I would go with the more low risk coins, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that, things that have a proven track record and the trajectories look a lot less risky than most other coins in the market, because those are going to be slower but more sure growers. And just put your investments in and disperse them in just a few of those coins, and then forget about it. And then forget about it for a while. Secondly, something that I do too, for stock too.
For stocks, if you want to be conservative, right? Like for your Bitcoin, you want to go ahead and invest in, for example, the S&P 500.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And you'll
yes,
slowly see your money grow, guys. And usually the stock market on for example, the S&P 500, you're looking at 7% return. Usually, sometimes it could be 10%, 12%, maybe a year could be 6%. Okay. But usually on the average, you're looking at 7% return. All right. If you just go steady on the S&P 500. So this is why I love crypto, because crypto, for example, we're seeing it happen right now with Dogecoin. It is very risky, right? But you could 100 times your money. But with S&P 500 in the stock market, you're looking at a good 7% return. If you just want to go ahead and just chill, ease off the gas, and make a little bit of money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do see a comment in the chat from Brian. Brian says, Facebook Marketplace, sell your junk. You don't need to invest it. That was actually one of the things I was getting to. So what I do for my day business, I actually run a vintage furniture store and home decor. I taught myself, I'm self-taught in woodwork. I taught myself a lot of woodworking skills. Years ago, I volunteered to just work under more experienced woodworkers to apprentice for free. This is another thing too, you guys. The way I got to where I did was every time, and I'm still like this, but every time I'm around somebody that has a skill set that I'm interested in, that has a lot more experience and knowledge in that sphere, you need to shut your mouth. Aside from asking questions, you need to shut your mouth, and then you need to listen, and then you need to digest, and you need to respect that person's skill set and get your ego out of the way. A lot of times our own egos is the main barrier between us leveling up in life, our own egos, right? So that's how I learned to be a recording artist. That's how I learned production skills, and that's how I learned to do woodwork and furniture restoration, all these things. But anyway, getting to that point, there's times where I flip, like today I flipped a couple credenzas, one for 400, one for 700, right? But what I also did too is I'm doing all these little pops. Like, so all these little 10 pops, 20 pops, 30 pops, 50 pop money makers of selling small things and things you can thrift or whatever, or things that are just laying around your house. Never be above all that stuff, because all that stuff, if you're consistent about it, all those little things really add up by the end of the month, and accumulatively together, it makes things a lot more comfortable.
Thanks for that, Stephen. Because I know you went on and on there, right?
Sorry about that.
It's all good. So I want to get to the DreadMan, because it looked like the DreadMan has something to say when it comes down to investment.
Yeah, definitely about investments. Now, first and foremost, let me say to everybody in the chat and to you guys listening, there is nothing wrong with blue collar work, manual labor, working with your hands. There's a matter of fact, that's what makes this country go around. I'll probably have to say 60 to 70% are blue collar jobs. Everybody's working right now. There's nothing.
Okay, I think we lost
something along those lines. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, he came back.
Yeah.
He's back now.
Anyway, like I was saying, there's nothing wrong with blue collar work, because I mean, if you look at this country, like the majority of people are built, our country's pretty much built on the backs of blue collar workers, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
But the point is that you don't really want to stay there too long. You want to take that, what and invest in something. That's why, have you noticed that a lot of guys who work in a blue collar field, they all have some sort of trade they work on? Like, this lumber, like you said, lumber. Like me, right now, I'm currently a Home Depot employee, and I work in the lumber yard, so I'm good at cutting wood and all that other stuff. So, but here's the thing, is that I went to college for computer drafting and design. I went to school for AutoCAD. That's knowing how to build houses on the computer. So I only have an associate's degree in graphic design, but also I dabble a little bit in tech. Now, tech, that's a very interesting thing if you want to dabble in, because that's always been the thing. The thing is, also, you keep these two things in mind. One, tech isn't going anywhere, and two, hard-working blue-collar manual labor jobs aren't going anywhere. One idea that I have for a business venture, I've always had this idea, because I love computers, I love laptops, is opening up a laptop repair business shop, because that's always going to be popular. So one of the keys is, to always staying relevant, financially or otherwise, is to find yourself a trade, find something that you're good at, and also find people who have the same ambition as you do. That's also the big key, because, I mean, having ideas are great, but the thing is that you really can't get anywhere without a team. The most rich and successful men on this planet have a team that they have to, that they have behind them. So always keep that in mind. Have a plan, set your goals, build a strong, solid team, and know what and where you're going to be.
Dread, my question to you is there anything that you invest in or flip to make money?
Currently not right now, but I am looking in a couple things. Like, there actually is a local laptop repair business that I'm looking at, and I got in touch with the guy, because the thing is, he actually likes my attitude. So I'm probably gonna kick it with him just to see where it's going, because right now it's local and it's very small, but he makes a little bit of money. But if I get the word out about it, that's the thing is, local small businesses can turn into huge conglomerates if you got the right work ethic and you got the right people behind you.
Because what I'm going to you is that I have a friend that he actually knows how to fix iPhones. And when iPhones are locked, right? People don't know how to unlock them when they're on the blacklist so. So he buys iPhones off OfferUp, fixes them up, and he sells them. And that is his hustle. So he has his 9 to 5, but he actually has that hustle of fixing iPhones. And, he learned this thing off YouTube. And he makes money off it, just fixing iPhones. So, that isn't even something that you could, actually do yourself. Buy the parts. Because, for example, my MacBook laptop broke, and I had to take it to the Apple store. And you don't find people that could fix a MacBook laptop. You don't. They'll just tell you straight up, just go to the Apple store and fix it, because they don't have the parts for it. So, it's definitely something, you can look into to try to make some money. And also, the man with no name the anonymous man, tlostintranslation, he actually has a very exciting side hustle, and I know he's into investment, deferred compensation. But guys, deferred compensation is something that your job might offer. For example, they have a professional, right, that they invest, let's say $500 of your money, $100 of every paycheck. You set the amount into the stock market, and they're very conservative, or they can be very high risk. But it's a group that does this. Okay, it could be nationwide that is working on this portfolio for different compensation. But T Loss in translation, all right, the man with no face, he actually has a side hustle of actually breeding pit bulls, I believe. So, can you tell us how much money are you making just breeding pit bulls? And can you tell us what type of pit bull it is that you actually have?
Yeah, basically, it's American bullies, pockets to exotics. Believe it or not, it's popular now, so it's something that like all the celebrities are getting into, either that or the Frenchie. So as long as you have like a strong bloodline, you can get dogs. So believe it or not, I got offered $7,000 for one of my dogs. But normally on the normal, I get offered between 45 to 5,000 for just a dog. Now, granted,
I'm sorry, you said 4,500 for 5,000.
$4,500 to $5,000. The most I've been offered is $7K. But there are people who get offered 10 to 15, depending on the bone structure, the height, the color pattern, if it's a tri, if it's a mirror, and if you're into something like, I always am into dogs. I have a passion, for dogs. So once I realized, hey, like I can actually make money off of it, it's not more or less a business. It's actually like a passion, because you can tell people no if you don't agree with, I guess, the way they're going about it. Let's say they say, oh, I want the best stud you have because I want to start a program. If you can tell they're money hungry, you don't have to sell them your dog, because once again, you want to find good homes for these dogs, because they are a part of the family. At least to me, they are. So I enjoy it. I love it. You get to learn a lot about bone structure and what to eat, and you're kind of like a little chemist, because you can get different bloodlines together and see how it's going to come out, and you never know.
And that's the dogs right here, right, that we're looking at. You said pocket bullies.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've seen that. Those dogs definitely have been trending around. They're pretty cool. I'm not really a big fan of pit bulls. I do like those. They look like just a small ball of muscle.
Yeah, and, I mean, pit bulls get a bad name, by the way. Depending on where you live at, the pit bulls are technically illegal, but pit bulls are wonderful with kids. They're amazing dogs. They're great protectors. They just get a bad rep, but Rottweilers attack people. Chihuahuas attack people.
Chihuahuas especially are number one.
Yeah, so it's like they just have a bad rep. And to piggyback off of the investment thing, more or less on the same topic, I feel like COVID made or break. A lot of people decide to have their own business. They quit their 9 to 5, or they got laid off, and they say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to open up my own business." Like Dread said, they probably were good at carpentry with trades. They went to fix people's houses. Some people started their own maid company, maid service. They go and they start cleaning, sanitizing people different houses. And then I also want to add that they had loans and grants that they were giving out, the economic injury disaster loans. That's actually something you can get as a startup if you didn't have the capital to get your own business. And the rates were 3.75% for businesses, and for nonprofits it was 2.75 fixed interest for 30 years. So you're not going to get that type of loan from a bank, but that's something that a lot of people didn't know. And they also are giving out grants, which means money you don't have to pay. But on that is so small that I guess the areas that I grew up in, they didn't know that I can get a grant to start a business, not to pay it back. So COVID actually made a lot of entrepreneurs and millionaires, believe it or not.
I think that's very true. I think it's very true, and I think it's very true what you said. I think people found talents, people found creativity in places that they did not even know, because they actually needed the money. Look how many people got laid off, right? And one of the ones that you really missed out is, look at OnlyFans, right? That we all hear about. Look where OnlyFans went to. Insane. Mm-hmm. So definitely true. The pandemic really made a lot of things happen for people. But yes, guys. So Lost in Translation, obviously breeding dogs. And guys, other side hustles that of course you'll get to, like Steele said, Uber, you have Grubhub, I think you have Shopcart. Also, you have oh man, I forgot the name of this course. Maybe Steele knows the website where you could actually teach. For example, you want to teach music, you want to teach how to play an instrument. You could pay $20 per the hour. Do you know which website I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think you're talking about an app known as Fiverr.
Well, you have Fiverr is another one. It's good if you're great for graphic design, narrate voiceovers.
Yeah, I do some of that on there.
A little bit of Fiverr, but there's another one, and I just can't remember the name that you could. It's actual courses, and people teach these courses. And for you teaching these courses, you'll get paid $20 an hour when people are watching your courses. Then you could sign up to this website for $20 a month, and you could learn any course that it is that you want. And I'm trying to remember the name of this, and I pay $20. I'm just having a brain fart that I just can't remember the name of this.
You just got to make sure OnlyFans aren't your only plans.
Yeah. You gotta have something to fall back on, and that's the problem with that. Yeah. I mean, hey, we're not telling you don't, if it works for you, do it. But don't make, but the thing is, I wouldn't retire from that. So no.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Skillshare, my dude. That's the one, big boy. Appreciate it. Yeah. Guys, if you're good at teaching something, or you're very good at something, the guitar, the saxophone, graphic design, coding, anything you could think of, all right, investing in crypto, teaching people about crypto, you can actually go to Skillshare. And for Skillshare will pay you $20 an hour for teaching a course. So that is another side hustle, guys. There's so much side hustles out there. Sometimes you have to get creative. One thing about me is that I've always had a hustler mentality since I was little, guys. In middle school, in high school, I used to bootleg movies. I used to download the movies, burn them, and sell them. All right. In elementary, I used to sell candy. And then I remember once I graduated out of high school, I was on Craigslist doing headlight restoration. All right. And all I did was get brake fluid and clean people's headlights, and the headlights would look like shit a week later. But hey, I was making money.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Some dude was about to beat my ass one time, that's when I had to stop. But I was 18 years old, man, just trying to make money,
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing. A big thing with that, too, is you got to know your market. Because I'll tell you this. Like you've noticed with iPhone, stuff like that. Like I said, I'm probably going to look into making a laptop repair business. Let me tell you guys this. Baby boomers, anybody who is born like pre-1975, my parents included, they are computer illiterate. They know nothing about computers. So if you wanted to get into iPhone repair, PC repair, laptop repair, that is your biggest market. Older people who don't really know that much about technology. You can make a killing. Mm-hmm. So also that's a big thing right there. If you go into any kind of business venture, know your market and know your target audience.
Yeah, really well stated. Really well stated. I mean, to break it down in really simple terms, if you're just brainstorming on different things you can do to bring in income, you can always boil it down to this. Just think about things that people hate. Think about things that people hate doing, and do one of those things. just you could pick out any task or anything that people generally hate doing, and do it. And the more people hate doing those things, usually the more people are willing to compensate you for doing those things. So, yeah.
I just wanted to share this picture. I know you guys have seen this picture floating around. Say what you want about OnlyFans, but I just moved into my dream house at 22 years old.
I mean, yeah, it happens, but I think it's the percentage of that who that happens to. It's like it's a really small slim margin out of all the gals that take their luck to OnlyFans,
right?
But it happens.
Let's talk about the simps. Yeah, it's okay, right? You want to make them money, right? You want to give these girls your money. Okay, I get it. But honestly, right, for my dudes out there, right, do you really want to be a simp?
Okay, let's break down a definition of a simp. How about that? Because sometimes it's thrown around for like, they don't really know what they're using, the context. So are you a simp if you do nice things for your lady?
No.
Like what makes a simp? Come on, break it down for me, Alpha.
Okay, a simp, right? I believe is when somebody is in pursuit of either some type of sexual attention, sexual relationship, but it comes to the point where they're just desperate about it, while having false hopes or high hopes of actually receiving that attention.
Right.
That's kind of like the best way that I could break it down to you.
Can I say something? So do you
Go
mean being a nice guy?
No, it does not mean being a nice guy. It doesn't mean being a nice guy to your lady, to your wife.
No, I mean like being a nice guy, like in general. You know, if you're a gentleman, you're a nice guy. Some people make you see that.
No, it's not. It's not. Basically is right. If I'm putting money into one of these Instagram models, let's not even go to OnlyFans. Let's say I'm giving one of these Instagram models some clout, liking their comments.
They got PayPal in their bio. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Let's say it's Instagram models, and I'm just there giving them money, in hopes that this Instagram model will go out on a date with me. And of course, when she shuts me down, what happens? Right? My dreams and goals and all this money just came crashing down with me. And that's what I believe, these simps are doing, right? They're just giving so much money out there in the hopes of actually receiving some type of sexual attention or a sexual positive feedback from these models. So I really think that men right now have a problem with simping. And I have so much guy friends that they're on Instagram following Instagram models and girls on OnlyFans. And I'm like, why, bro? Why are you giving these women so much clout? How about our independent women? Are women out there that are actually doing the work, getting on the grind, right? The real women that really work hard. Again, I'm not bashing women on OnlyFans. I respect your hustle because guess what? You have an audience out there, the simps, right? But I really think that working women, smart women really need to get more recognition. They're not out there getting 1 million likes, right? But the ones on Instagram, right? The ones that are just booty popping and showing their body, they're making a lot of money off this, man, and it's just crazy. I think the males need to wake up, go work out, get a haircut, read some pickup artist book, do something, but stop simping all your money into these women.
Right. Now, I do got to say something right quick about OnlyFans and these Instagram models. Once again, we're not telling you to not do anything that works for you. If it works for you and you're comfortable, by all means, do it. I actually made a video about sex work and everything, a couple of videos about that. I'm telling you, OnlyFans is popular right now because one, it's easy access, and two, people can capitalize off their looks. I mean, why not? But I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to kill OnlyFans and this whole sex work industry online. One thing, oversaturation. Thing is, when the market is flooded with people who do it too much, that's when it's going to start to lose steam. When too many people start to do the same thing, and when it catches on and gets popular, like, hey, this person could get 1 million likes on OnlyFans or Instagram, I could do it too, right? No. That's not always the case. You have to have something. One thing is, you have to have something about you that stands out above everybody else. That's why a lot of these girls do get a million likes on Instagram. That's why they got 100,000 followers on OnlyFans. You got to keep in mind that while it might work for them, that it's not for everyone. And like I said, oversaturation right now is what's going to kill it. I mean, sure, it's popular right now, but what about 2 years? What about 3 years? What about 5 years?
So Dread, do you think a woman on OnlyFans is fine? Do you think it's fine?
It's really sex work in general. It's no different from going to a strip club. It's no different from that, in my opinion. I mean, OnlyFans is more or less an online strip club.
Okay, so let's get more deep into this. Let's get more deep. Would you date and trust someone who does OnlyFans or the strip club?
Would I date a sex worker? I talked about this as well. To be honest, I actually know a couple of girls in my personal life who do OnlyFans, who are OnlyFans girls. And I've actually dated a stripper before, and it actually wasn't that bad. Strippers are normal people. But contrary to what you see on Instagram and all these other social media sites, strippers are normal people. They're not real. The thing is, and also that's what captivates people. People on OnlyFans are not the same as they are in person. People got to keep that in mind.
I'll agree with that.
Date a sex worker. I mean, the thing is, I don't see myself dating a sex worker long term. Absolutely not.
If she gets a change of career, maybe.
Maybe.
But no, I'm gonna say this. All honesty, Jill. I like what you said, Jill. Sex work is real work. OnlyFans is fine. I respect anyone making that money, but that life ain't for me. And I have to say this. I respect you, and I've gotten hate. Sometimes, when I talk about porn and I talk about censorship and the social media, I've got a little bit of hate even for somebody on Twitter. Okay, so, but at the end of the day, this stream is completely different. And guys, I wanted to give you something besides just investment. But I will say this: some strippers will hold down their man and will give all their money to the man and be faithful. That is absolutely right. However, I believe that is such a small percentage. And I believe most of those women really do become damaged with time. Why? They're seeing and dealing with men that are just nothing but dogs and dogs and dogs after that. And then this guy that they probably trusted maybe even treated them like a dog, right? So they just say, oh, man, F with the men, forget about it. And a lot of these women actually end up being damaged. So again, make your money. I do respect, if anything, the women that get into OnlyFans, that get into strip clubs, right? But actually have a little bit of brains and then leave that and actually start opening up their own business or become an attorney, right? Whatever it is that they do after. So I do respect that. But once I feel like, hey, baby, you've been doing this for 5-7 years already, I think it's time for you to hang up your jersey. So it's fine, but I think they really have to go ahead and know when to call it quits.
I agree.
And that's another thing is I feel like that, with sex work being so readily available and with it being so out in the open, because think about it, 10 to 15 years ago, it was looked down upon, but now sex work is pretty normal. But I think it's going to backfire in the next couple of years, because it's like we see so much, nudity, and we've seen it in the rap videos and stuff like that. I think that we're becoming desensitized slowly. I mean, we used to see like, a half-naked woman, we'd look like Wile E. Coyote when he saw the Roadrunner. His eyes popped out of his head and everything. But the thing is, now you can't scroll down your Instagram feed without seeing a model in a bikini. You can't scroll on Instagram without seeing a half-naked picture of a woman. That's the problem, is that we're becoming desensitized now. We see it so much and we're so exposed to it that it doesn't even affect us anymore.
Very true. Very true. We won't see that back in the 90s.
No.
We won't see that. And the thing is that, our kids are getting exposed to that too.
Yeah. That's a really big issue right there. That, what was taboo to us is normal to them. I mean, and like I said, I'm only 30. So, the thing is, like I said, I got younger brothers who are 17, 18. So they're, I came up in the 90s. They're coming up in the late 2000s. So it's an entirely different era from what it was, 10, 20 years ago.
But getting back to the subject, right? My thing is, right, for the men on here on the live stream, man, and I tell this to my friends, stop following all these damn Instagram model girls. I don't do it, guys. Stop following them. Honestly, stop simping over them. Stop giving them every single like. I really don't get I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Follow someone that will actually give you some type of knowledgeable information. Follow a nice, decent woman that works hard and, you could probably build something together. That is just, in my opinion, stop giving these girls so much clout. I really think there's way much better things you could actually follow and do. That's in my opinion. I just think that men need to go ahead and wake up and stop following all these different type of women. Steele, man, you've been quiet over there, man. You probably disagree with what I'm saying. No,
I don't. I would say my thoughts on this are this, with like the OnlyFans and sweating IG models and all this kind of stuff. I guess it depends on the guy. Like, look, it depends what your relationship is with these things in your life. If you already have an active dating life that you're reasonably happy with, that you're pretty happy with, and you are already know how to talk to women, and you already know the game well enough where you're not awkward around women and you're confident. Then if you have a couple OnlyFans subscriptions just for dessert here and there, and have that kind of relationship with it, that's fine. That's fine in my opinion. However, that's not the majority of men that are giving money to e-girls. The overwhelming majority of men are giving money to e-girls because they're lonely, they're socially inept, they haven't learned the social skills, they haven't made themselves worked on themselves to make themselves very desirable on the sexual marketplace. So these are all things, guys, listen, So if you are trying to substitute any level of loneliness in your life through porn, through OnlyFans, through e-girls, stop giving your money, stop giving your time there, stop giving your energy there, and instead use all that time and resources in investing in yourself. And the more you invest in yourself, the more likely and higher probability you're giving yourself to actually date the girls that you're throwing money to who think you're a total loser. I guarantee it. I have dated OnlyFans girls. I've been right with them. Girls that have ran some of the biggest premium snatch dates them. And you know what they're doing? They're rolling their eyes. They're laughing at you. They're like, oh, hold on. I got to take a picture quick for these idiots, right? And then they do it quick. And then we get back to what we were doing. I've been behind the scenes many times with these women, and they do not respect you. And they have no intention of having any real connection with you whatsoever. So if that's why you're giving these girls attention, then that's a huge mistake.
You're very right, man. You could take out one of these girls and they're gonna be on the passenger seat going like this. Hold up, and you're talking to them, but they're like this right now because they're too busy, right? Holding and stuff like that. But absolutely, but something that you said, you actually hit it right on the money. And Jill, I'm loving your comment. We all sell our bodies in one way or another. It could be sex work or killing our bodies in factories or in uniform. That's actually a really, really, really good comment. I got to give you the Einstein of the day. I do like that comment. Even though we have different opinions, but I really do like that comment. Steven Steele, I think you hit it right on the money. You got to forget about OnlyFans. And the men's problem is getting out of that eggshell, guys. Work on yourself. And touching on what Steven Steele said, to sum it up, once you work on yourself and invest in yourself, right? I'm going to leave you with this quote that somebody told me and it always stuck with me. You can lose lots of money chasing women, but you will never lose women chasing money. All right. Facts. And that is facts.
Facts.
So guys, that is something that I have to go ahead and tell you. Stop dropping your money. Stop doing it. Invest in yourself. Tlostintranslation, man. Any thoughts before we actually cover this up?
No. Y'all making a lot of sense. I just feel like this is how society's going right now. I mean, back in the days with post-COVID, pre-COVID, when me and you were in high school or even in college, the online dating and video chatting, it was seem like you do that, like that's weird, like who does that? But nowadays it's become like a norm. Especially due to COVID, you can't go out to the club. Well, during COVID, you couldn't go out to the clubs, and like you said, it became a strip club going on OnlyFans to see them dance and twerk. But it's all about your morals. If you don't mind using your body, selling your body in that way on OnlyFans to get a check, I mean, that's on you.
That's awesome. But yes, guys, getting into this, right? I want to talk about now because we're almost getting ready to the hour, and I was really just trying to keep this within the last hour. And these conversations could get really real deep. And I'm loving it because I see people in the comments that obviously not everyone agrees with me 100%. So I like seeing the difference of opinion, right? But I want to talk about relationships, guys, and cheating, right? Can men be 100% faithful?
Oof. Who wants to take this one first? Because I got a lot of things I want to get off my chest with this one.
I want to say this, right? I want to say this, guys. I'm 31 years old. My longest relationship has been 5 years, 6 years, if you want to count the headaches, right? So the first year was phenomenal, right? And something that we say in Spanish, I'm going to say it in English. A new broom sweeps well, right? So the very first year you have that broom, when you first just get that broom, right, it sweeps well, and then it starts to break down. So a new relationship, right, when you get a new girl, that first year, everything's smooth, the sex is great, wonderful, right? But I believe that men, once it comes to the third year, that's when it's like, man, these other women are looking great, right? And that's when I think you start getting in trouble. And then I believe if you make the 5 years, you could go ahead and make your relationship. I feel like just cheating, especially nowadays, right, with how we see sex appeal everywhere, from Instagram, social media, TV, you out in the gym, anywhere right now you see it. It's just so hard to remain faithful because this right here is powerful and dangerous. This right here, all right? So what do you guys have to say The trifecta: Bumble, Twitter, and Hinge. But yes, what do you guys say, right, about cheating? I did cheat a lot in the past, and I felt like I just had to go through it, all right, especially in my 20s. And then now, of course, in this last relationship, I haven't done it. And I feel like it just slows down with age, but I do not know really what could happen in that third or fifth year again. So what do you guys think? Can all men cheat, or do 90% of men cheat? How can we stop cheating? Besides keeping yourself busy, I feel like if you have a good hobby, stay busy, stay focused, and stay loving your wife, right, and keep it romantic, it has to work. That's the only way you see it to work. But definitely when you're out by yourself, right, keep yourself busy and with hobbies, and definitely stop porn.
Yeah. I agree. I have to be completely transparent, Alpha. This one's always been a really difficult one for me. The women that I've involved myself with over the years, I don't always tell them the answers they want to hear, but I do tell them the truth, right? So I have been in serious relationships, and I've in my life I've technically cheated on 2 women who were my girlfriends at the time, but I told them both exactly what happened shortly thereafter, and both of them gave me a nice stinger across the cheek, and then one of them was a really fiery Italian girl, and another girl from San Francisco. We were doing a long distance thing, and the thing is, what the same reaction happened with both of them, where I didn't hear from either of them for about 10 to 14 days. And then they both came back around, and they both said, you know what? I thought about this, and I appreciate your integrity. I think most guys, you could have just easily hidden that from me, and you just told me like the day after, if I did, for both of them. And that's been a long time ago. I haven't, that was probably about 9.
Wait, so what happened? So did he keep both girls?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here's the thing too, where
I've been slacking.
I don't know. My opinions on this topic, I am afraid would be seen as a bit controversial. For me, I think that we're dealing with a lot of primal instincts in men, where we're hardwired to spread our seed, essentially. So we're dealing with these very primal instincts on a daily basis, whether we're in a committed situation or not. So essentially what we're trying to talk about is how can we re-channel this energy, right? So that we can remain faithful if we are in a committed situation. On the other hand, there is something to it where it kind of keeps you young. I guess I have to say, I'll just say this. Most of my serious relationships, they've lasted long, and I haven't been entirely monogamous with them, but I've been completely transparent with them about that.
Right.
Now I'm not going out there like Will Chamberlain or anything, but there is an understanding with many of these ladies that occasionally I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and but I'm not being deceitful about it. I'm not going behind anyone's back, and I'm being very upfront about it. And in the long run, most women they're frustrated by it. Don't get me wrong. There's periods where it's frustrating. I'm not saying it's easy, but overall, I think they develop a respect for you in the long run, from my experiences.
Right. I want to touch back on Brent Blackwell's comment real fast. You have to love the one you are with more than you love yourself, your desires. And I will say this: I did have a great woman. All right, a few years back, 3-4 years back, I did have a great woman. And, I did cheat. She forgave me, and I cheated again. I just, that 20s, man, those were rough, and it was rough. It was real rough. And and this is the reason why I told myself, I just hope I never cheat again, and I'll stop, because I feel like the biggest thing is when you actually break someone apart. And that is something that stays with you for years, and you have nightmares about. So that is the biggest thing about cheating. I saw the way that I broke her, and it's still something that haunts me to this day. So of course, time has passed, But I really believe that is the worst thing you could do to someone when you actually do break them apart and you break them all over again, when they gave you a chance. So that's something that sucks the worst, and just hurting someone's emotions, hurting someone's feelings. I think that's definitely one of the worst things that we could do.
Definitely.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. tlostintranslation, man. I know you have some thoughts on this.
Well, I'm gonna go with Lil Duval and Charlemagne the God for the win. Black men don't cheat, so I'm gonna say I've never cheated. No, but seriously, all jokes aside, I'm weird, bro.
Take the page out of Derek Jackson's book.
My whole thing is this: it's like when you're single, you're single. Let's say you have a boyfriend and girlfriend, but in my opinion, the way just me personally, you're still single. Because when you go do an interview or you go fill out an application for a job, it says single, divorced, married, or separated. It doesn't say boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
So in my opinion, until you're married, you haven't cheated. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
So me, I feel like I haven't cheated. That's my answer to you.
I like that. I feel like I haven't.
All right. Now, for my 2 cents on this.
Yeah.
Now, ladies, gentlemen, everybody else, cheating is bad, it's wrong, and you should never, ever do it ever. But if you absolutely can't help yourself, at least cover your ass and don't get caught. All right. So here's the thing. As far as cheating mainly comes from temptation. And here's the thing. Temptation comes from everything that we see, because men, we are visual creatures. Men, we like what we see. We look at a girl and we think, oh my God, look at the hips and boobs and hips and booty on that one. Oh my God. And the thing is that they say that men are 5 times more likely to cheat than women are. I disagree. But see, here's the thing, is that we don't start getting choosing signals from women until they know for a fact that we are in a committed relationship. Think about it. Men attract 10 times more women when they're married or when they're in a relationship than they are when they're single. Fact or not?
That is very true. That is very true. You get hit on so much when you're in a relationship, but when you're single, it's like nobody looks at you. And I don't know if it has to do with pheromones or something, but it happens all the damn time.
I can explain it. The reason why that is because when you are dialed in with a pretty lady, you subconsciously are giving off an abundance mentality and abundance mindset, which is a level of subconscious confidence that I think really women are keen to picking up on. That's why when a lot of men are single, they kind of have the look of thirst on their faces and their body languages and in their body language and in their vibe, and those are unattractive qualities. But if you're walking up into the club and either got your girlfriend on your shoulder, also that signals to other women too that you are a desirable man, and that kicks in primal instincts with women in a competitive spirit, which is just a part of the biology of it.
And also,
I'm going to touch back on that one.
Keep in mind with this, men and women's motivations are not the same. Men and women don't cheat the same. Women cheat emotionally. Men cheat physically.
Yeah.
That's very true. And that's why I think that for us men, once a woman cheats,
she's done for good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right?
Yeah, there's truth to that.
See, this is the reason why. It's because whenever a man gets caught cheating on his woman, the first question she'll ask is, but do you love her? 9 times out of 10, no. But lady, I'm probably breaking 100 guy code rules when I tell women this, but I'm going to tell women this anyway. If a man loves a woman that he cheats with, 9 times out of 10, he was dealing with her before you. That's the only way he will love or have feelings for a woman that he cheated on with you, is if she was already in the picture before you. I know I just broke a whole bunch of guy code rules by giving up that little piece of information, but well.
And it's very true. And when a woman leaves you, she already has a backup plan.
Yes,
she already knows who the runner-up is, baby. So, guys, the DreadMan, by the way, guys, go ahead and subscribe. I did put his link out there. I'm going to be putting Steven Steele's link out in a little bit, guys. DreadMan, one of the real OGs from the YouTube game. Since YouTube since probably 2008, 2009, and just actually coming back to YouTube. So the DreadMan, being on YouTube for a while, good connect. So yes, T-Loss and translations, man. Anything? Okay, so guys, my last question, right, to wrap it up, because it is getting that time, and Steele is about to do his live stream as well. Yeah. Relationships. What is your best advice to keep a happy relationship? Because at the end of the day, I really think that a relationship really does keep a man happy. Let me tell you guys something. When I pass by a club and I drive by a club and I see all those guys outside in the club that are lined up trying to get in, I'm like, man, I don't want to be that guy. I'm straight. Like, to me, it's just, even the dating apps, the trifectas that I mentioned, Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, I don't want to be on those things, right? I really think that a relationship is just the way it goes, especially when you have someone, right, that the sex is fire, you guys get along perfect, the house is peaceful, and she supports your ambition. Definitely, I think being in a relationship could be 1,000 times better than being single. However, when you are single, go ahead and enjoy yourself and have a blast till you find the right one. But what is your best advice, guys, on keeping a relationship before we wrap this up in the next 5 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know who wants to go first.
Want to take it first?
Sure. For me, I think the priorities are, what all my most successful relationships are when I've been brutally honest and I didn't let things marinate. Right. So when conflicts or things that bother you start arising, just get it out in the open right away. Don't let it fester. I think the number one thing that really divides couples apart is the process of festering until you reach a critical mass where someone gets really resentful and then it just boils over into a much bigger deal, right? Right. So when you just handle something, another thing too is I think a key part for a man, I think a man's responsibility to maintaining a healthy relationship with a woman is never lose your drive and your purpose. Women sense, and they'll test you too. They'll subconsciously test you, I believe. And I don't think this isn't a slight on women. I think women are actually very brilliant in this way. I think they have a lot of these subconscious mechanisms to test if they're with the right partner. And I think one of the things that they do is they say things like, when you would to try to pull you away from your passions and your drives outside of her. Oh, don't do that. Do this with me instead. Now, you can do that to a certain degree, but if you keep doing that over and over, she is going to lose massive respect for you, and she's going to lose massive desire for you. So never lose your fire and passions that are outside of her, because that is a key component of why she's attracted to you.
Right. Exactly. And with that said, guys, even though your relationship, and I know we're not going to touch about fitness because our time is running out, stay in the gym. All right. She met you while you were working out. Stay in the gym. All right. She met you while you were still out there doing your hobbies. Do your hobbies. Don't also, and especially guys, I'm Hispanic. Okay. A lot of Hispanic women, they tend to want to lock you down. Go everywhere with you. Go to the gym with you. Don't let you out the house without a tank top. You need to go ahead and break that away. Don't make your whole life just about your women, because once you do that, you're creating that monster. And next thing you know, you can't go out by yourself. And now when you step out, it becomes an issue. All right. So a lot of Hispanic women, they do like to tie down their men. They're very jealous, but don't let a woman either control you, because once you start feeling like your house is a jail cell and you can't even step out without your lady, that's when it really becomes a problem. And you just want to get away from her with time. But definitely to keep that spice going, guys, keep doing what you were doing. Keep doing the things that you guys were enjoying before in the past. Go back to previous dates. Drink, had fun, of course comes sex, but definitely still, guys, go on vacation and stay happy. Right now, this might be coming from the wrong guys, okay, because my longest relationship has only been 5 years, 6 years including the headache. But yes, Steven, Steele, I know you got to go. You guys have any last comments? DreadMan, T-Lost-in-Translation, relationships.
No, I'll agree with what you said. As a neutral answer, whatever you guys however you fell in love with that person, just continue doing it. Like you said, what tends to happen is we have sex in the car, we have sex at the movies, we have sex everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't want to be spontaneous anymore. Or we used to go out, like you said, dancing, and now you don't want to dance anymore. You don't want to go out to the clubs with me. You just want to stay home, and watch soap operas all day. You got to keep doing the same thing, because the same way you got me is the same way you'll lose me, and vice versa. If you found her in the club, you're gonna lose if you want to stop her in the club.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's good advice.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, Dread, anything better for coming from you, bro, before we wrap it up?
My advice is check all of your insecurities at the door. You do not want to get into a relationship with excess baggage. I know because I've been there. Number one, check your insecurities at the door. Number two, make sure you are stable. I mean, like I said, nobody's perfect, but make sure that you are stable in most aspects of your life, because I notice a lot of people want a finished product, but you can't want a finished product if you're still broken yourself. I mean, we're all building towards something. Because I'm going to tell you guys like this right now. This June, my parents will be celebrating their 37-year marriage anniversary. Wow. They got married in 1984. They got married in June of 1984. Something like that is very hard to come by nowadays. I mean, that's something I always aspired by, but like I said, it's 2020. It's not the 1980s anymore. But yes, the reason why their relationship and marriage worked so well is because they both met each other when they were teenagers. And they both had nothing, and they built something together. So that's the reason why it lasted so long. That's the reason why it lasted as long as it did, is because they had nothing and they built something together, which is, like I said, these days that's few and far in between. But also find somebody who you want to grow with, and not just somebody thing is, like, of course, what we see, what attracts us isn't going to keep us. Oh my God, they look good. Oh my God, they have money. They got a nice car, yada, yada, yada. That's all fine and dandy. But like he said, how you get them is how you lose them. And that's something that you want to do. And number one, and like the one thing you don't want, losing a relationship is fine. But one thing you never do want to do is lose yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one thing you never want to do. But that's my advice.
That's some good stuff. Well, guys, listen. I appreciate all of you guys being on the live stream. DreadMan, Steele, tlostintranslation. Guys, again, on the stream, this was something to be completely different. Why? I want you guys to stop thinking about Dogecoin. Stop thinking about Omi, okay? So this is the first episode of the self-destruct, all right? Before I self-destruct. We will be doing this more often, all right? So we'll be having before the self-destruct part 2, guys. But again, this is something just for all of us to learn. Jill Spears, all right? We love you, all right? So don't go anywhere. Like Dennis said, we both are learning, all right? So I know you guys don't agree with my opinion all the time, all right? So don't bash me too hard. But at the end of the day, guys, I want everybody here to learn, take the info that you can, all right? Because we're all expanding. And I want to still keep my channel about what it's supposed to be, all right? Building better men, but actually change it to building better tomorrow, okay? Because I also like the opposite gender to be here with us, okay? Because we could all learn together. But guys, good luck with your investments, and hope this little hour session relax your mind. Steele live stream is actually up now, and hope all of you guys have a great night. DreadMan, tlostintranslation, Steele, appreciate you guys.
Hey, thanks, sir.
I'll take care.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Alpha, and good to meet you other fellas. And yeah, we should do this again. I feel like we're just barely scratching the surface with these topics, so it'd be great to do more of them. Yeah, man, and it's just about making better us, all right? Building better tomorrows, man. And I think this really does help out a lot of us, especially in our mental health and our health, wealth overall. So I really think these conversations could actually work. Right on. I agree. I'll talk to you soon, Alpha, and I stream in later, but you're more than welcome to pop by mine. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Steele, go ahead and catch him. All right, guys. Good night. Thank everybody for watching. Where you have a YouTuber, you have a friend. Always remember, stay alpha.